What is up, YouTube? How are you doing today? Chana D, your Techno Dad here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to add external amplification to your AV receiver. We're going to get into it right after the jump. And I'm back. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about 4K, home theater, and audio products and how to set them up properly, you should consider subscribing because I'm here to help. Now, let's get into it. All right, everyone. So I've had questions about this topic along the way, and I really haven't had a power amplifier to kind of show you guys exactly what you're going to need to do to, connect external amplification to your AV receiver. We'll be needing some RCA cables, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and of course a power amplifier, and I'm assuming you already have an AV receiver with PreOuts. So one first thing I want to talk about before we go up and do like the connections and everything is, why would you want external amplification? Here's one scenario. Let's say you have an AV receiver that can process 11 channels. So for a full 7.2.4 Dolby Atmos setup. However, it only powers 9 channels, meaning you are left with 2 channels that you can't power with that specific AV receiver. What do? There's 2 options. Now, if you have like small speakers and power isn't like a huge deal, like you don't need 250 watts per channel, you don't need 300 watts per channel, you only need, let's say, 75 to 100 watts per channel, then you would probably want to just power the 2 extra Atmos channels with like a, pretty decent, like, I don't know, $200, $300, $400 power amp that'll give you like, the 75 to 100 watts per channel that you're looking for. Now let's take a second scenario on why you would want external amplification. Now, for instance, in my AV receiver, it can power and process 11 channels, so I don't have to worry about it. However, I'm pretty sure my Denon is not pushing out 140 watts per channel and whatever it's supposed to be rated at, a 7-channel figure, because these amp manufacturers don't tell you that. They just give you a 2-channel rating, and I'm pretty sure the 2-channel rating is not pushing out 140 watts RMS into 8 ohms like it's advertised. So what's a Techno Dad to do? We're gonna get more power. So in my situation, and I'm sure a lot of yours out there, and this is actually what I recommend if you do have, bigger speakers that can handle a lot more wattage. I would recommend looking into a 3-channel amp to power your left, your center, and your right channels. Okay, that's what we call the front stage or front sound stage, and that's, I think, more important than just powering 2 little Atmos speakers. So if you have a system that's got these big honking speakers, get yourself a big honking amplifier for the front 3 channels, and that will change your home theater experience drastically. And yes, there are debates. If you want to do this, you should probably go with the dual subwoofer setup first before you add a power amp for your front stage. But, to each their own, whatever. This is what we're talking about in this video, and this is just scenario number 2. If you have an AV receiver that's got 11 channels processing and only 9 channels of power, definitely think about getting a 3-channel amp for your front stage if you've got big ass speakers. Okay? Simple enough? I think that's simple enough. All right, enough talking. Let's get upstairs and get into it. So first things first, I have a Denon AVR X6300H. And just for you guys to be able to see these connections, I had to remove some of my HDMI ports. And here we have the left, right, and the center RCAs. So in this example, I'm just hooking up a left and a right. So we're gonna use the left and the right, plug those guys into the back of the Denon. And around here, we're gonna plug these right into the proper ports on the back of the Halo integrated. Now it's just a matter of plugging in my speaker wire to the Halo. And guess what? That's it. We're done. All right, guys, pretty simple stuff, don't you think? You just plug in a couple of RCAs and everything's done for you. At least that's how it is with the Denon. And I can't, explain if there's another setting that you need to set in any of the other amplifiers or, AV receivers. I'm not sure. Now, if that's all this video was about, that'd be really quick, okay? Because it is fairly simple. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up pictures of all the different manufacturers. Well, not all, but most of the popular ones that you'll see in Crutchfield and Best Buy, and kind of point out to you where the pre-outs are. So here we go. Let's start off with the Denon, since we had the Denon upstairs, but it was a little cluttered. So this is what the Denon looks like. And here are the pre-out section of the Denon. And here's the left, center, and right, if you guys are going with scenario 2. Now, if you're going with scenario 1, here's where the second set of height channels are located in the pre-out section. All right, next let's go over to the Anthem. This is the Anthem MRX 720. Now here is the pre-out section, and I'll label up the front, center, and right channels. And if you're in scenario 1, here are the pre-outs that you're going to use to power the second set of Atmos channels. All right, now let's check out Marantz. This is the SR6012. Now here's the full pre-out section. And if you fall into scenario 1, this is what you're going to plug into. Now if you're on scenario 2, which is what I recommend, and you got the bigger speakers, here's the left, center, and right connections for scenario 2. Now let's look at Onkyo. Here is the TX-RZ810. This is where all the pre-outs are located. Now for scenario 2, here are the inputs for the left, center, and right channels. Moving on to Pioneer, here is the SCLX801. This is where all the pre-outs are located. And again, here's scenario 1, the 2 extra Atmos channels. And scenario 2, the left, center, and right channels, your front stage. There you go. Now moving on to Sony, here's the STR-ZA3100ES. That's a mouthful, I think. Anyway, here are the pre-outs. And for scenario 2, here are the RCA pre-outs for the front stage. Now let's get into Yamaha. This is the RX870. Now here is the entire pre-out section. For scenario 2, here are the pre-outs for the front stage. So hopefully that gives you guys kind of an idea of where these things are located on your AV receiver. And I know I couldn't really get all of the model numbers, to help you guys, all the different model numbers of AVRs, but at least you'll get kind of like a general idea of what these pre-outs look like, so that if you're actually back there and you're looking for it, or you're looking at a picture of the back of your AV receiver that you got from Crutchfield or Amazon or wherever you got the picture from, you can tell where the pre-outs are. And it's kind of tough to read the labels a little bit here and there, but zoom in. You guys are smart people, you'll figure it out. However, if you guys still have any questions and need my help, just leave it down in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook. I even have the Instagram going. So there's, whichever platform you like to ask questions on and get responses back, definitely check me out. All right, everyone, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chana D. I'm your Techno Dad, and I'll see you next time.